February 1st, and I'm here with Mr. O'Hara. Can you tell me where you're from, sir? Like, your job?
I work with the Better Business Bureau serving Mississippi, based out of the Jackson area, so middle of the state.
And can you tell me what a typical day is like working your career?
A typical day at the Better Business Bureau is, well, since what we do a lot is we take a lot of questions from consumers and businesses, is we usually have a full voicemail overnight, and the first thing we do is answer messages, and then the day kind of dictates from there. We may be reaching out to a consumer who's looking for a good business or has had a problem with the business. We may be looking for a business who's received a complaint and wants to know how they should answer that complaint. And then it's sometimes it's doing like I'm doing today. I'm going out and doing outreach and educating people on what it's like to be in business and be a good consumer.
And what do you personally find rewarding about your career?
What I find rewarding is helping people, is educating. Sometimes people get themselves in a situation, they may have been contacted by someone and gave their personal information away, and they realized it after they hung up the phone. So we're able to tell them the steps to protect themselves from losing money or having their identity stolen. On the converse side, I don't like taking the calls when people have already lost their money and they think we can help them get it back, and it's probably gone to another country.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Do you think there's a demand for job opportunities in your field?
Yes, I think as long as there's people who have a problem with integrity and honesty. Unfortunately, the Better Business Bureau will be around. We've been around for over 100 years, here in this state 60. If anything, the way information goes through technology now, the more information that's out there, there's more good and bad information. So we have to help people, kind of decipher what's good and what's bad.
So you'd say this job is good for people who want to help people and
Yes.
honesty and things like that?
Yes, it's a nonprofit job, so it's one of these jobs that you have to really believe in the mission. If you ever want to work at a nonprofit, if you don't believe in the mission, if you it's not in your core to that mission, you're not going to like the job. But
Right.
if it is, you really never work. If you're a mission-based person and you enjoy the mission, every day will be like the weekend to you. It won't feel like you're just going to a job just to get a paycheck.
That's a good thought process. I really like that. Is there any room for advancement in this field of work?
Yes, we have a lot of people at our office that have started out maybe as a receptionist, then they move to, say, a complaint handler or a business relation person who talks to businesses. I myself, I'm the CEO. I kind of came in at the CEO level, but there's opportunities if I ever wanted to be a regional person or move on to the IABBB, which is the association up in Washington, D.C., which manages all the BBBs.
And how does one come in at a CEO level?
Well, I was a CEO at a job before that.
Oh.
It's with the gray hair. It's years of experience of being in business to do this. So, there's not a lot of requirements to be in this business. You can have a degree in anything.
And that's good.
It's really your experience and you're willing to learn. So that's really what helps people. It's not even a degree-based thing. You have to have this degree. You just have to be passionate about the mission, and you have to be willing to learn what you don't know.
Okay. What are a few challenges of working in this field?
Challenges are people. Whenever you're dealing with people, you have to understand if someone calls for a complaint, I have, say, a complaint handler, and she handles all my complaints. She is dealing with, obviously, a consumer who is not happy because that they filed a complaint, and the business who received that complaint from that consumer is not happy. So you're dealing with two very unhappy people, trying to get them, instead of proving who's right, to just come to a solution. So that's the challenge, is just letting people talk it out, and then trying to get okay, what's reasonable here. And sometimes you just can't. There's, it takes two people to make it work, and if one person's just dead set on that, it's just not going to work. So that's challenging.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's difficult because sometimes you get kind of blindsided when you're dealing with a hardship, and I imagine that's difficult to deal with when you're trying to help them.
Yes, it is. You can't make people see. They're going to see the way they want to see things. And sometimes you can't change their mind, and you have to also understand that you have to respect that that's the way they view things, and not be disrespectful. You can't tell someone their feelings are wrong.
Right.
Everybody's feelings are their feelings. So
Right.
I can't tell you if you feel that you don't like the jacket I'm wearing today,
Hideous jacket.
that you're wrong. This is a great jacket. That's your opinion, and that's your feelings, and the same goes for me.
Right. Now, I know you've spoken a little bit about degrees and requirements in this job, but what kind of places can you work by obtaining a degree or certification in this field of work? Like, if you could deep dive a little bit.
Well, the good thing about working at the Better Business Bureau, if you ever wanted to go into business for yourself, you can see the mistakes that other businesses or your possible competitors make. And when you start your business, say, well, I'm not going to do it that way. I hear this all the time. Or I hear consumers telling me, I would pay more if this person would just answer the phone. So you know that you could be a good, solid business by just listening to consumers and carve out your niche. So if you ever wanted to go into business for yourself or work for a company to help them, like we have C-Spire is one of our biggest contributors. They use our information to train their customer service reps. So knowing this is what they want to always have a good rating with us, and they want to have top customer service. So that would be something people could go into.
All right, and kind of going off the same way, do you need a college degree, or like what kind of college classes and work should you be looking at if you're looking at this job?
In this day and age, even with this position, I have a college degree, but it's in poultry science, which is agriculture. So I'm nowhere near, other than I might eat chicken 3 days a week. That's about as close as I get to my degree in a week. But it's education is always something that's great to have because you learn different things. But it's really experience. It's experience in working with people, and people have moved up to the top ranks with no college degree, and some people have come in like myself, maybe a little bit more experienced. But there's no, getting out there and working is experience. There's no bad job. If you've worked in a restaurant while you're in school or your age, or babysitting, you've dealt with a child you're trying to get to settle down, and you want to make sure that the parents invite you back, and you want them to pay you well, tip you well, so you want to be happy. So that's customer service. That's going to help you 20 years down the line when you're dealing with someone who doesn't view things the same way.
Absolutely. I think this is our final question. What are the qualities that employers are looking for when they want to hire someone in this field of work? As CEO, what are you looking for in your employees?
I'm looking for people who are just themselves, be the best version of yourself. I learned a long time ago, and I worked in private business, is when you try to make everybody what you want, it doesn't really go all that well. It doesn't go well with me. So you like to let people, we have 3 people who call on business relations every day. They have 3 different ways they do it. All 3 of them are successful, and they borrow from each other, but they have 3 approaches that are totally different. So to me, it's, I'm looking for someone who can think for themselves, is willing to take a risk, and then if it doesn't work out, willing to learn from that and say, okay, I'm going to try something else. So that's what, when I'm hiring someone, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for someone who just, tell me what to do, I want to do it that way. I want them to think for themselves, because they'll enjoy the job better. I'll have a better employee, and we'll have a better relationship.
Right, and I believe a lot of employees would appreciate that, being able to think for themselves in a job. Yes,
and also turnover is a big thing in a business. I don't have any turnover. I've been there 12 years, and 90% of my staff is the same people, and I had 2 people retire. I've had to get rid of 1 or 2 over the years, but it just wasn't a good fit. But I don't have turnover. So it's always good for an office when there's continuity.
Right. Well, I think that's all we have for today. If you will let our student body know your name and your career once more.
Okay. I'm John O'Hara. I'm the CEO of the Better Business Bureau, serving Mississippi, based out of Jackson, Mississippi.
Have a good day, Pass High.